Hey guys, got a bit of something different for you today. I've literally just picked this up from the post office this afternoon. So I'm going to do an unboxing video with you rather than go straight on and have the review of all the bits and pieces actually out on display. So I'm going to go through the kind of discovery of what's inside it together. This is the MMS 378-D17 Iron Man Mark 6. So this is the reissue of the Iron Man 2 / Avengers Iron Man suit that he has. It is the die-cast one, so hence the -D17 and the serial number as well. As you can see from the box art here as well, it's the typical standard kind of big top, kind of small bottom box, which is likely to have the styrofoam shipper inside that a lot of the die-casts have had. I didn't actually realise that there were 17 of them thus far, but when you start kind of doing the maths on it, so the Mark 42 onwards, especially with those war machines included in there, makes a fair bit of sense. In fact, I think even the Hulkbuster, because that's part die-cast, counts as one of these too. If you get the Civil War one actually up here to compare them, yeah, the same box design. They both got this plastic coated cardboard, so the card underneath is printed, and then there's some printed aspects of the plastic as well. And then the bottom half is just printed card, so nothing too fancy. I do really like the, I don't know if you can see it there, just tilt it up a little bit. The gold Avengers font, it is kind of a foil gold, so it's really nice and shiny. The artwork on the front is the artwork of the figure, I believe, and not the movie still. I'm pretty sure it is, especially judging by like the angles of the metal pods and things on it. I'm pretty sure that is the figure inside that they've just rendered. It is really cool as well. I don't know if you can see there, they've used the little dot work, kind of comic style print shading on it, which is really sweet, and then they've kind of outlined and accentuated certain bits so it looks a bit more like a kind of tech spec or a blueprint. If you look further down, just on the front there, you've got Iron Man Mark 6 written in just yellow print. It's not foil like this is at the top. The bottom half is actually quite lackluster. This A does fade into it, so there's a little bit of detail on there, but not really anything too fantastic. And then you've got the die-cast Movie Masterpiece series and the logos of both the Hot Toys and Movie Masterpiece there. Moving around, we've got the artwork that wraps around and this foil kind of Iron Man Arc Reactor logo, which is appearing on the side of a few of the figures. On the Civil War one, it's slightly different, but it's still supposed to be like a chest art nonetheless, and no print on the bottom half. On the back of the box, you've got the Iron Man Mark 6. This is the same kind of printed quality stuff that you get on the front. So it's printed underneath with this A, and then the writing in white is printed onto the plastic. So you've got the cast and crew. So you've got Howard Chan, JC Hong, the usual people behind this. The choking hazards down on the bottom bit on the grey. The secret base and the toy hunter's shop as well from Hong Kong. So from what I can see on this figure, because I think I've got it early before the kind of generic sideshow release that we get, this is the kind of Hong Kong secret base release. Keep moving around. Again, you've got the artwork that wraps around there, and some more of the Iron Man logo, and then on the top, just in grey, unprinted on top of the cardboard, is the Iron Man Mark 6 MMS 378-D17 1/6 collectible figure. So that's all the artwork and the box itself. I'll take the top off and we'll have a look inside back in a moment. So as I mentioned before, it's pretty standard fare for these die casts, and it's this really dense styrofoam packaging with the mark number on it. So depends what version of it you get, because they've slightly kind of changed some of the embossing or in this case the engraving into the foam. But basically, yeah, it tells you what's inside it. It has got a piece of plastic clamshell kind of that fits in the back that usually contains the base as well. So we'll take the front off first, and we'll have a look at the figure behind it, and then we'll have a look at the accessories too. So just ever so slowly taking this off, because I do not want this die-cast figure just jumping out at me. And there we go. So that's him inside the box. As you can see, he's brand new, not opened, not taken any of the foam or any of the plastic off. I'm just gonna leave that there. And we've also lost one of the hands out of the box too, because the holes are a little bit big for him. But yeah, so there you go. You've got your... Ooh, yeah, this probably was a terrible idea in hindsight, but never mind. So you've got your alternate accessories, like your alternate faceplate, your alternate chest piece, your alternate hands. You have Tony Stark portrait in his little baggie up there as well, and then the generic Iron Man kind of sets up as its factory default with the fisted hands in there, and all the kind of bags and foam surrounding him. I'm going to quickly just lay him down now, because I don't want to risk any more pieces falling out of here. I'll just put his little plastic baggie back in just to look after him. We're going to do a proper review obviously when the time comes, so don't really want to spoil too much just yet. And then we take the top of the foam off, and underneath there you've got this clam tray, which again is this really nice dense plastic that Hot Toys always package their figures in. You've got your instructions that are all lovely and bagged up, which naturally I'm going to read these first. It does seem like a bit of a tome as well. There's quite a lot of stuff to look through in this, so I'm going to flick through that first before I do anything else. You've got your base, which is the gantry themed base with the light up steps, and the flight pole with the kind of waist cradle that's just hidden behind all the batteries. And then you've got all his hand accessories. So these are the accessories for his hands, with the kind of little cluster rockets that open up around his wrists, and the heavier rockets that go on the top and the back of his arms. And you've also got the missile pods for his shoulders on there as well. So there's quite a lot of stuff in there. Oh, actually I've just missed another one. At the top here, there's the lasers for the gauntlets as well. So a lot of accessories in this. Be interesting to see how much of it actually is die-cast as well, which we'll get to in the review. But with that said, it's only going to be a short one obviously, because like I said, I'm going to get through the actual review properly on the next video. So stay tuned for that one. What I will say is I got this from Anime Gami. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I hadn't actually heard of them. I was rooting around trying to source one of these because they've shot up in price recently. I think people are trying to scalp them really for it, because there's a lot of demand and you're trying to get about 400 or 500 quid for these. So, you know, be careful. However, I found Anime Gami got it for about 360. And I was like, well, that's a bit reasonable. Did a bit of background research and heard that they were actually legit and they were good. So I was quite impressed then to kind of find it so cheap. Placed the order, and I've just been kind of tracking it over the last few days. I've only ordered it like 10 days ago, and they said that they were ordering it from the warehouse and kind of trying to get it distributed here to the UK. So I think they've got an internal warehouse in Europe somewhere, if I remember rightly. But anyway, got the order, and I've just been tracking it. And I will say their customer service is absolutely fantastic as well. I kind of contacted them a couple of times regarding what the kind of status of the item meant on their Facebook chat, and as long as it's within their opening hours, which is 9 AM while 6:30, they reply in 5 minutes, and they're really concise. The people who you talk to were absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I think actually they're based in London, so again, you know, as long as you're operating kind of via UK time constraints and things, there shouldn't be any issues talking to them or anything like that. And as soon as it came from the supplier's kind of pallet, which they actually even sent me the tracking information for that to kind of follow. So I wasn't just tracking this when it was on its way to me. I was tracking the pallet as it was coming from their distributor to their warehouse over here. And then they sent me the tracking, obviously, when it got posted out. But yeah, they sent it out via DHL, which was the next day. So this arrived yesterday morning, and then it was shipped out to me today, and I've received it this afternoon. So, you know, super duper fast. It does say on their website that they don't compromise for quality for postage either, but really cannot say enough good things about them. But again, like I say, with that said, I'm going to crack open this bad boy. I'm going to start having a play with him because I've waited long enough. And I'll be back in the next video. So I'll see you next time, guys. If you are interested, obviously, just a heads up. The next video is going to go up very shortly after this one. So stay tuned, give me a subscribe, and obviously that little kind of bell icon will let you know when the actual review's up. I'll see you next time then. Thanks. Bye-bye.